Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here, and we got a list of 20 properties today, wrapping up everything from the weekend. And what happens when we do a multi-day list is the prices kind of go out of order. So you've got to click this link right below the map to order them from low to high on price. And so it's fun to do a video. Last week I had a couple things that happened where I had to end up sending some emails out towards the end of last week. We start off with this one on Ontario. It's a 3-bedroom condo townhouse, $335 a month in fees. I don't find the outside appearance is the prettiest, but I do think it compares very well. There's actually a lot of really good condo towns right now. Even under $300,000, there's still a good amount of stuff here. More of an original kitchen. They had a nice little cutout for the fridge and even for the microwave. That's all kind of custom built in there. But floors are done. You can work with those cabinets, and you've got a deeper lot than you usually find with condo towns. And the fact it has a deck here too, there's a little bit of privacy fencing right there. Nice mature trees, and it doesn't look like it backs onto Ontario, which is also a nice feature. Very highly recommended, that one there. Cartwright is 1235 square feet. It's called a Bryant model, and so it's got a nice open concept main floor. Where you start to feel the size a little bit is upstairs. You have one full bathroom only, so it's shared between the master bedroom over here and then the rest of the hallway through a door. And then the front room is a little bit small too. So there's your second, there's your third. They've got a treadmill in here. It's hard to position a bed even with these windows here because you've got your closet on one side, you've got your windows. The only flat wall is the one over here. So you pretty much, I think the biggest bed you could fit in that room is like a double bed, and you've got a basement. Looks like most of it's been done, and you put some floors and some paint in there, and then you're all finished. So I do think that this one it compares well with what else is sold recently. You got to wonder if there's some extra motivation by the fact that they're not done their basement, because the highest return for that basement is when it's fully done. Even though it's nice to be able to put your finishing touches on, from a value standpoint, a finished basement will always beat a half finished basement. It's like if I handed you, this is the example I always use, if I ate like a couple bites out of a sandwich and handed it to you and said, hey look, you can have the rest, or I could give you a brand new sandwich, which one do you find more appealing? So we've got Cargill Path here, 424.9. It's the smallest. I think it's called like a Lewiston or something like that. It's a little less than 1,600 square feet. And when we've seen some of the 1,700 square foot homes, the 3 bedrooms for this type of home, which is it's called a Main Street townhouse, where you've got kind of main floor family room, double garage with a deck in the back. There's no real backyard on this one, but typically we've seen 420 to 430 is usually the models that are a little bit bigger than this. So the 2 bedrooms usually hang on the market a little bit longer just because you're kind of narrowing your audience a little bit. It is one of the cheapest ways to get a double garage, but you just don't get the backyard. Wixon Way is 438.8, and so we've got a 1,500 square foot semi-detached, California shutters, pot lights. Now people ask about kitchen refinishing. You don't have to rip these cabinets out if you don't like that kind of, that pale pink color. About $100 a door, you can refinish this kitchen. So you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're $1,000 there. In this kitchen, you could probably do a lot with about $2,000 with the cabinets, change them to a dark wood or like a cream color. Lots of options there. So the rest of the house actually looks like it's in good shape. And then you also have the finished basement downstairs. And it certainly looks like they've got at least one kid based on how they finished the basement. This one on Newell is it's around 1,600 square feet, so it's floating in the same range as the previous with a finished basement. They're pretty close comparables, different areas. This one's nice and close to the highway up by Main Street and James Snow. Now they've got the photos in kind of a weird order. The one thing about this one, it's not as open concept. So you've got your kitchen that's sort of surrounded here in a U shape, and then you walk through the kitchen to get to your family room. So you can't really have the same conversations that you would if it was more open concept. But they've got, then they've got the yard, and then there's some basement stuff, and then there's en suites and windows, and you just don't know. I think that the pictures have to tell a story of a house. They have to be ordered in the way somebody would walk through it. in order to probably maximize the benefit of having the photos, put them in the right order. People go main floor, then generally they go upstairs, then they go basement, and then backyard, depending on how beneficial it is. It can be right after the main shot, or it can be towards the end of the gallery. Azilton has a sideways photo, so I'm not even going to talk about this one here because it just doesn't do anything. It's you know, it's amazing. Like, people, I kind of say sometimes, like, pretend like you're trying. 34 Laurier doesn't have pictures. I won't blame it on the agent because it's not always something. You know, sometimes they wait for the reception and so on to do it. But very quickly in the listing, you want to have pictures up. It's a 30 by 122 foot property. It's a link, so usually that means linked by underground if it's on the 30 foot. It's got an attached double car garage, finished basement, hardwood floors, California shutters. If it's half decent, $480 is not a bad price for this. This one on Bennett. Here's the thing about this one is that it's called a Quincy Corner, and the biggest mistake I see people make when they list these homes, if you look through the photos, it's a double garage home. You have to be overt. A lot of people take this as the front shot, or they'll do the 45-degree angle. You have to take a shot that's right on the front there and shows a double garage, because that's one of the biggest benefits of this home here. $534,899. Rest of it looks okay inside, but this model with a finished basement has sold. There was one that was listed at $550 and sold at $600,000, less than 1,900 square feet, but the sales have been all over. It's very tricky to track this one. There's a Plan 5 corner also built by Madame that has sold anywhere from $505 to $570, the same model. So the kind of smaller double car garages, there's a huge range. It's very hard to pin a price down. We've noticed that in a few price ranges in Milton lately. So Hawes Crescent is $545. Here's the thing. It says detached, but it's not detached. Okay, so they say, well, it's linked by the garage only. That's fine. So your bedrooms, your living room, can play your music, that's fine. But it's not a detached home. And value-wise, this is a lot closer to a semi-detached than an actual detached. And for that reason, I think at $545, they're going to have a bit of a tricky time. So the basement is finished. There's lots of finished space here. If you look at like the azaleas by Heathwood, they're kind of floating with the finished basement somewhere in the $520, $530 range. So it might compare there. There might be a lot of neighbors surrounding it. It looks like the lot is kind of an odd-shaped lot. This one here is about between 18 and 1,900 square feet. I think there's one on Bustle right now that backs onto a forest, that backs onto train tracks. $550 for this one seems a little bit high based on some of the other similar size, like the Madame Plan 4s that are going around $520 to $540. So Transom, oh, it's sold. Wow, that's amazing. So between the time that I pulled this link off, sold it very, very fast. And wow, it looks like a model home inside. I had some concerns about this one basically facing the train tracks, but I guess when you're looking this good, it's already sold. So good for them. That really, for a townhouse, that is easily the highest priced townhouse we've seen in Milton. So good for them. 15th Side Road is just a little bit east of Guelph Line and 15th Side Road, right in the Brookfield School District. Or sorry, Brookville, not Brookfield. There is conservation on this one. If you look at the GIS map, you can see that it's one of these properties here. So the conservation is all this orange space right here. You've got your estate subdivision here. You've got a gas station on the corner of Guelph and 15th. Brookville is just up here, the public school. And yeah, really, really nice open space. There's parkland here. I like the location, actually. It's 10 acres. That's pretty much land value at $580. So I'm not expecting the home to be good. If it is good, then it's kind of a bonus for this size of land. Marcellus is $584.9, and if you've had a chance to see this one before, it has got some interesting wallpaper choices. I mean, this is it's very funky. I mean, you've even got the kind of greenish blue crown molding here. If you look beyond the wallpaper, there's actually a lot of nice features here. It compares to like the one on White for $619, although White has a pool. I actually think the price is pretty good here. I think there's an opportunity with this one to come in, modify it a bit, keep the bidet, of course, and then really have a nice home for the. It's 48 by 115, so it's a pretty decent size for the neighborhood. Great quiet street. Like this one a lot. So and they put a wallpaper credit. Here's the thing about doing that. It's almost like you're kind of giving money away right off the bat, because everybody's going to take that. They're going to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to take the wallpaper down, even if they don't plan to, which would be amazing to me. But just lower the price, right? Like, that's the thing. Put the price at a point where it's compelling, which I actually think it is, as is. I don't know if you need to do that credit stuff. I've never believed in it. I just think that it's kind of shooting yourself in the foot a little bit. Armstrong, pretty open concept main floor. It gets a lot of traffic. This is the only way really to get in between Thompson and 4th Line. Although I think they opened up the one by the school now. Yeah, they have, for sure. So you've got a finished basement here. But bottom line is it does get a lot of traffic. Cochrane is a 2,300 square foot home, and it's been listed before. It's beautiful inside. This is another model home, and gorgeous stuff. Like, it's just waffle ceilings and the built-in appliances, the gas range. They tried this one even up in the 7s. I knew it wouldn't work out. They were in the high 6s. They've kind of hacked and slashed the price, and I think at this price they're going to do well, because decent models that look like this sell for maybe 610. It is worth it for the extra finishes based on other people that have bought homes that look like this. So they're in the right spot now. I think that they're going to sell it pretty quick. Holdsworth is more than 3,000 square feet on a 40 by 100 foot lot. It looks like they've redone the kitchen. That's not a standard cabinet from Sundial. Crown moldings. You've got vaulted ceilings here. You've got a separate room in the front for an office. It's really nice. I like how this is open, because all the windows and light, it kind of floods the whole house. It's a very bright home. It has a bit of a regal look with that nice long staircase there. I'm a big fan of this floor plan, and I love the lot size here. And you've got some green space on Holdsworth. 700,000 looks good to me. Hem Street, for this price, I'm not really feeling it. It's you've got a finished basement here. The home is between 2,500 and 3,000 square feet. I don't know. To me, it's just not doing it. Although having a nice little home theater is always a nice thing, especially when you've got the step up and you've got the second row of seats up there, if that's what they did. I just feel like it's a little bit high for what you're getting. Fenimore is 3,455 square feet. It's a Wellington model. And so this, Madame had a model home that was like this, and it had the balcony above here overlooking the family room. Also comes in a 3,800 square foot version. And then they've got a finished basement. So there's a lot of space here. There's more than 5,000 square feet of finished space. But does the family need all that? So I sold the 3,800 without a finished basement, looking really good, around the 840 mark a couple months ago. So that is something that probably they're comparing to. For the finished space, not a bad price. It can be a little tough to push up, because a lot of people looking up past $800,000, they want the privacy on the land for the same money, or a premium lot, big backyard, that kind of stuff. So Amos is 1.1. And they've done some structural upgrades. The windows 2002, the roof 4 to 5 years old, kitchen's been modified, bathrooms, that kind of stuff. But overall, I would say the finishes are probably a little bit less than what I'd expect for a home in this area to get around 1.1. So I think it's a little bit high, but sometimes you leave that negotiating in more of the rural executive areas. So First Line is 1.5. You're 100 acres. You've got these outbuildings. The home itself, has a bit of that country charm for sure. But the land is worth 7 figures to begin with. 100 acres in this location north of Moffat for sure. Thing is about these outbuildings, it costs a lot of money to put that building in. Like, we're at least 6 figures to put that building in. You don't always get it on the resale end. So the valuation for something like this is very complicated. It requires a lot of research, and sometimes even getting third-party appraisals. And if there's an economic component for the horses or for the land or anything like that, then you deal with tax issues. Obviously, income potential can change cap rates and all kinds of different advanced valuations. So it's this is something that's probably not for everyone who's watching this video, but it is something that it's kind of a cool property. It's nice to have the farms and the horses, and even though that industry is changing a lot too. So that's the list for today, 20 properties. If you want to see anything or if you have any questions, let me know. We sent out the email about the Peel Affordable Home Ownership Program on the weekend. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us. And anybody who did reach out to us on the weekend, I've given your information to Mark and Mark at LFSC, and they really handled the financial arm of walking people through that program, how you kind of apply and how you qualify and so on. So you'll probably get a call from them at some point today or tomorrow. So anyway, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.